it doesn't mean control, but it does mean it has a lot to do with your decision. In other words, if you're getting ready to go to school and it's snowing outside, you're not going to wear flip-flops and shorts, are you? No. So, it influences your decision as to what to wear. So, if we are going to fly an airplane from somewhere to somewhere, or somewhere to nowhere, the weather is going to determine or have a lot to do with the decisions we make. If there's something in between where we are going and where we left that could create a problem for the airplane or damage the airplane or create a problem for our route along the way, that influences our decision to make, to control that situation. So, what we need, one of the main things we need is fuel. If we're flying, we need to get from Pensacola to Jacksonville. Say that's our destination. And I don't know if you look at the weather or not. Do you check the weather? Do you guys check the weather that much? You do? What do you use? You use your app for that? Which one is that? Okay. So have you got an app that shows the radar? There's apps out there. Does anybody have an app that shows the radar?
I just use the WEAR radar.
There's a million.
Yeah.
They're all over the place. It depends on what you want to use. It's just up to you. One of the simple ones that I use that gets pretty detailed, and I do this professionally, so I need some pretty good details as to what the weather's doing. Like if I'm going, if I got to take the airplane from here to Tallahassee over to Fort Pierce, clear customs at Fort Pierce, and go to the Bahamas, I have a potential of getting involved in a lot of weather. That's a pretty long trip, and there's a lot of weather involved. So I want to know what that's all about. There's it shows we don't have any radar out there right now. No blips on the radar, nothing I can show you right away. But maybe we can find
Need some help. Okay. Here we go. Yeah. That's temperature. That's most people, but see, that's extremely large. This right here, this is what we're looking at. This is good. See, all right, now look at this. This is green. This is the radar showing. And see, now here's Pensacola, right down here, and here's Montgomery, Atlanta, Jacksonville. Atlanta's getting smacked. Well, that went through there. That went through there, and it shows the weather. Now, what can happen is, come over here where you can see your cell phone. What can happen is these green things are rain. That's the radar is showing that's rain. Now, this is up in Kansas.
and that's rain. The way it's moving determines what it's done over the last, generally, whatever you set it to, 24 hours, 12 hours, or whatever you have set it to. So let's say I'm going to the Bahamas. Let's say I want to go down here to, I go to Great Harbor. Great Harbor's a little place. Marsh Harbor, Nassau. Here's Great Harbor right here, a little bitty place there, you see? Right there. So these are rain showers. And the airport is right there. See there? See that strip? Can you see that? Okay, that's the airport. And I go there a lot. Alright? They don't have, I don't know what the weather is there. They don't have it. I can't call them up and say, hey, what's the weather? All they can do is look out the window and say, it ain't raining. And whatever. So I go there a lot. In order to get there, I have to go through, I go right here to Fort Pierce, which is Fort St. Lucie. I go to Fort Pierce and clear customs. So I've got to come from Pensacola over here, right across here. Out here is, they've got what we call warning areas. The warning areas are where the military is out there playing games. And they're shooting at each other. Shooting live ammunition or what have you. And they're doing stuff, aerobatic. So you can't go through there legally. What you have to do is go around it. So when I go, I don't go straight like that. I can sometimes on Sunday, I do. But most of the time I have to go around here and cut down that way and then go across. So what the weather is doing is a big deal for my flight plan. I need to know what's going on, and I can look at this and determine what's going on. Let's say I've got, and I'm going to go down there at either, we have an altitude limitation. If we are going east, we pick odd altitudes. East is odd, okay? And if we're going visual flight rules, above 3,000 feet, AGL, that's above ground level, 3,000 feet, we're going visual flight rules, it's odd plus 500. So if I'm going down there visual flight rules, I'm going to go down there at generally 9,500 or 11,500. That's east, odd altitude plus 500. If I'm going instrument flight rules, IFR, instrument flight rules, I'm going to go odd altitude on the altitude, not plus 500. So I would go down there at 9,000 feet or 11,000 feet, generally speaking. I could go at 7, or I could go at 5, or I could go at 13, 15, whatever, however I want to do that. But the weather is going to determine that. The higher you go, the more probability you're going to have a wind that is going to be a disadvantage. What's disadvantage mean? What's a disadvantage?
Disadvantage so
You're doing good. Keep going.
disadvantage means when you so when say something is like easy and it starts to get hard, it starts to get a little harder.
That's a
Disadvantage me. Oh, don't give me that. Give me something. Say something. I don't care. Spit it out. Tell me something. Good. Good.
Basically, when you play video games, there's sometimes there's someone that can destroy you or have a better than you. That's like you have a disadvantage.
You got it. That's it. That's it.
Very good.
Advantage, disadvantage. So if I have an advantage over you when it comes to this aviation stuff, because I do it professionally. I've been doing it for 45 years. So I probably ought to know a little bit more about it than you do. You think? That's an advantage. In other words, your case, that would be a disadvantage when we're talking about aviation. But if we're talking about going to school in today's environment, you have a huge advantage over me because I'm old school and I don't know all that stuff, and I'm a stubborn old guy anyway, and I ain't gonna do it. So it's my disadvantage. Make sense? You got that? You sure? Okay, cool. All right. So what do we got here? We're concerned about getting from here to here. We've got to stop at somewhere in the United States and clear customs. And also buy fuel. A lot of these places in the Bahamas don't sell fuel. And you have to get fuel and take it with you and bring it back. So it's home. So I'm concerned about these green and mainly red. And you see how this has got red and yellow and green? Alright. The light green is rain. The dark green is lots of rain. The yellow is showing up big time rain. The red is boogeyman. It's got a lot of turbulence in there. It can bang the airplane around, be very uncomfortable. Some of it is even so bad it could damage the airplane. But it's a very uncomfortable ride. People don't want to do that. That doesn't mean they're going to die, but it's scary. So they don't want to go there. So we want to look at the radar and see what it says in terms of the green and the red and all of that stuff. Also, what's the name of that? Well, you guys talk about that when you get a break or something. It might be, that's a good app. I like that. That's cool. But there's got to be 50 of them out there. They are all over the place. Some of them are really good. Some of them are just good. So if you're interested in the weather, get your flag. All right. The reason we've got to keep the airplane in the air with fuel. We can utilize gravity if we have to, but we want to keep the airplane in the air with fuel. We want to have enough fuel on the airplane to get us where we're going. That means if, let's say, if we had a headwind or a tailwind, what does that mean? If we're going from Pensacola to Fort Pierce, Florida, and we are going down there at let's say 9,000 feet. We're going from Pensacola to Florida. Now it's east, so east is what altitude? East is odd altitude, right? East is odd, west is best. So if we're going east, above 3,000 feet, AGL, above ground level, that means starting at 3,000 feet, AGL, well, if you're flying, now Pensacola is 103 feet high. That's the elevation of the ground. You buy that? And you have your altitude altimeter set on sea level. So if you're sitting at the airport at Pensacola, what should your altitude be on your altitude, on your altimeter, if it's set properly? Huh? 103 feet. Sure. So, the rule reads, above ground, 3,000 feet. So, if I go to 3,000 feet on my altimeter, alright, and I am over Pensacola is 103 feet high, how high is that? And I go to 1,000 feet on that altimeter, how high am I above the ground? My altimeter says 1,000 feet. The airport is 103 feet high. How high am I above the airport? Spit something out. Say something. I'm not going to laugh at you. 1,000 feet what? So your altimeter is how high above the ocean. If you're set, you got it set above sea level, right? Or you got it set at sea level, and it reads 1,000 feet. So that means you're 1,000 feet above what? You're above 1,000 feet sea level. Okay. Pensacola is 103 feet above sea level, right? You buy that? So what's the difference between the 1,103 and the 1,000? Exactly. So are you 3,000 feet above the ground? No, you're not. So does this rule that we call the hemispherical rule, does the hemispherical rule apply to you, that can you fly, are you required to fly at 3,000 feet on your altimeter to comply with that rule? The rule says above ground. And if your altimeter says you are at 3,000 feet, you are not 3,000 feet above the ground. What are you 3,000 feet above?
Sea level.
Sea level. And Pensacola, and that ground is 103 feet above the ground. So that means the difference between Pensacola elevation and your altimeter is less than 3,000 feet. Does that make sense? So, are you required to comply or obey the hemispherical rule? No, you're not above 3,000 feet above the ground. If you were at 4,000 feet, that'd be a different rule. Does that make any sense to you? You're just nodding your head and you need to shut up, aren't you? Huh? Come on. Okay. So, this stuff gets tricky. It gets real tricky. And if you want to get in trouble in an airplane, break a rule. You don't have to They've got technology that shows anybody in the federal air traffic control system. They can look at your airplane and they can tell you who owns it, where it's going, what type of airplane it is, and how fast it's going. Anywhere in the system, they can look it up. It'll tell you all that. So, somebody's watching. There's a good reason for that. It keeps people from running into each other. That's the objective. That's what it's all about. However, just like every other rule the government makes, they can abuse it. Do they? Occasionally. Is that bad? Yes. It's life. Live with it. There's not anything you can do about it. Just live with it. Figure it out and play by the rules. It works better. Okay? Why am I saying all this? I want you to understand that you've got to have your altimeter set up at the same setting that everyone in your area has that set. It's got to be the same. Because if you have your altimeter set on 2992 and he has his altimeter set on 3001 and you two are a mile apart, are you at the same altitude? No. So if you are told by the controller to be at a certain altitude with a certain altimeter setting, and he's told to be at a different altitude with a different setting, you could be at the same altitude. Probably not, but you could be. So, we need to set the altimeter to the right number. How do you know what that number is? ATIS. Automatic Transfer Information Service. I forget what the T is. Boy, I screwed that up, didn't I?
Terminal.
Huh? Terminal.
Terminal.
I knew that. I was made up. Automatic Terminal Information Service. Okay? You set the altimeter from the 80s. It says down here, somewhere, right here. Q&H. You're not going to get that in the U.S. We don't use Q&H. This is, we've got three altitudes that they're concerned, well, two that they're concerned with primarily. Q&H and Q&E. Q&E is above ground level, where you are. They use that in Europe, and they use it in South America. Q&H is above sea level, wherever you are. So what you're going to get is altimeter setting, what they'll say to you, altimeter 2992. This is a European thing, so they're saying here it's 10, 11 millibars. And that's a different setup. So this is what they would give you in Europe. All right? Pensacola hands me off to the controller at Eglin. The controller at Eglin, or the Pensacola guy will say, Kodiak 63 Hotel Charlie Carton, contact Eglin approach on 123.2. Roger 123.2. I come up. Eglin approach is Kodiak 63 Hotel Charlie 123.2, 11 and 9. He's going to say, Roger, Pensacola, Roger, Hotel Charlie, level at 9,000, altimeter is 2992. Every controller, when you hand it off, will give you the altimeter. Big deal. Big deal. As you can see, if you're set one way and you're set another, what's going to happen? There's a chance, a slight chance, but it's a chance. You're going to run into each other. So you don't need that. I said, no. Don't do that. Mama won't like it. You will get your bag when you get home. So, big deal. You need the altimeter. Big deal. All right. Now, this guy's coming in. He's getting ready to land. He's, they're telling him what this will be on the AIDA. It's going to tell you what the weather is. The first thing it's going to tell you is wind. Wind is 250 degrees and 3 knots. What is 250 wind? That means compass head. Why do we care what the wind is? If I am, if I had a goldfish, if I fill this up with water, and I had a goldfish in there, okay? Is this goldfish moving? Right here. I'm like this. Well, you don't know. You don't see the goldfish. However, he could be moving inside there. Well, let's assume he is. Let's assume this goldfish is swimming over here. Okay? He's stroking over here. Alright? What's he doing across the ground? There's the ground. Is he moving across the ground? What are you not heading up for? What do you mean? He's moving this way. Tell me what you think, not what he thinks. I know what he thinks. You don't think he's moving across the ground? Okay. If he's walking this way, he's swimming. He's swimming. What's his position relative to the ground? He's going this way. Well, he's moving across the ground. You know what a treadmill is? What's a treadmill?
This is the thing you walk on for exercise.
The thing you walk on for exercise. Okay. If you're standing here like this, and you're on a treadmill, and you're walking, are you moving across the ground? No, you're moving on the treadmill. Is the treadmill moving across the ground? Put the treadmill in the bed of my truck. You're standing on a treadmill, and my truck's going down the road at 10 miles an hour. Are you moving across the ground? Yeah, sure you are. I'm walking, you're walking, truck's going 10 miles an hour that way. Am I moving across the ground? Well, if I'm walking 5 miles an hour, I'd be backing up across the ground. Does that make sense? But if I'm walking 10 miles an
the truck's going 10 miles an hour that way, am I moving across the ground? No. So, it's like if you're swimming in a river. You guys swim? You guys swim? You swim? Okay. If you're going to swim across a river, and the river's got a current, and it's running like this, 10 miles an hour, and you're going to swim from one side to the other side, and there's a tree over there, you say, okay, I'm going to that tree. And you jump in that water and start stroking. Head straight for that tree. Are you going to get to the tree? You got a current running 10 miles an hour. Why? Why aren't you going to get to the tree? Well, if you're saying wave, I'm saying current. I think we're saying the same thing. That's okay. That's okay. You got the right idea. That's the point. All right. So, the water that you're swimming in is moving. If you're using the tree as a reference. Reference. What does reference mean? Absolutely. Absolutely. Good, man. Good. Good. So, we want to go to the tree. We jump in the water, but the water's moving. And now, is the water going to move us with it? Sure. So are we going towards the tree? But I am proceeding towards the tree, but as I go, I'm going to have to alter my course a little bit to get to the tree, and eventually I'm going to be on the bank downstream. Does that make sense? You buy that? Okay. So, you need to know what the wind is doing. When you leave the ground, if you get off the ground 1 inch, now you're subject to the wind. The wind is going to make your life. Which way? What's the wind doing? It's a big deal. If you're landing an airplane or taking off an airplane, as soon as you break ground, your airspeed is determined by the wind right away. Okay? So, we got to know what the wind is. Here we are. The wind is somewhere in here. What did I say? 330? Huh? There you go. 250. 250 and 9. That's 5. So, we looked at the charts the other day. The takeoff chart says you rotate or you go down the runway, and when your airspeed reaches 55 knots, you can be in the air. You remember that? Do you or don't you? Tell me.
Yeah.
Okay? So if you've got to get 55 knots to get in the air, and you've got 5 knots of wind blowing, and you're facing into that wind, if you're sitting on the runway with the engine not even running, what's your airspeed?
at 5 knots.
It just came on.
So, you need 55 knots to get in the air. So if you start the engine, add the power, and get the power up to 50 knots,
What is that?
that gives you, or this,
This right here.
and you've got 50 knots, that gives you your ground speed is 50 knots,
That's keyboard.
but your air speed is what? Plus 50. 55 knots. That's what you need to fly. So can you fly? Your airspeed is, you've got flying airspeed. Okay? Turn around. Alright? You need 55 knots to get in the air. You've got a tailwind of 5 knots. You're doing 50 knots ground speed. Add the tailwind of 5 knots. You're only doing 50 knots. The airplane is producing 50 knots of speed. Okay?
Yeah.
On the ground. Good.
Okay.
Tailwind of 5 knots. Alright? Is basically taking 5 knots away from that ground speed. I know this is confusing. It's very confusing. A lot of people don't understand. Been flying airplanes for a long time. But I just want to give you that idea. The best thing to do is remember the river example. If you're going to jump into a river and you're going to swim upstream, what is your speed relative to the bank? If you're going upstream, it's going to be less. If you're going downstream, it's going to be more. Does that make sense? Okay. What I'm really interested in is, number one, you've got to get the altimeter. Big deal. The first thing they're going to give you on the ATIS sitting on the ground getting ready to go is going to be the wind direction and the wind speed. I'm going to tell you, you've got wind 250 or 13 or whatever. Let me zap Pensacola up here. with the winds. What did he say the winds were? Okay. Good point. Got your notebook? Get your notebook, pencil. Come on here, sit down. First thing's going to be wind. That's the time. Variable is 0.3. Okay. I want the winds. I want the ceiling. I want the altimeter. I want the temperature and dew point. The temperature is going to be in Celsius. Okay? So write those down. You want, first is going to be wind. Then the ceiling and visibility. Then the altimeter, then the temperature and dew point. Then the active runway won't be on this report. Okay. Usually the ATIS gives it so fast you can't write it down the first time. Get every other one. Get the winds first. If you can't get the ceiling and the visibility, get the next one. And if you can't get that one, get the next one. Get the ones you can, and it keeps repeating itself, and you can get it if you stick with it for about 3 or 4 times. Make sense? All right. I want you to get the whole thing. Here we go. All right, get it? What'd you get?
Wind is 0.3.
You gotta talk loud.
Wind is 0.3. Weather is clear. Temperature is 29.37.
7.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Visibility is 10, density is 17.07.
Okay, when they say visibility is 10, they're not going to give you a number larger than 10. Because if you've got 10 miles, it doesn't make any difference if you've got 20 or 50. 10's enough. That's all you need. So they're not going to tell you if it's more than 10. So all you're going to get is something up to 10. The first thing you get is the time. Everything in aviation is given in what we call Universal Standard Time, or Zulu. There's 26 time references around the world. If I tell you that I'm going to go down and pick up my passengers at Great Harbor in the Bahamas at 10 o'clock. What 10 o'clock? Does that mean Bahamas 10 o'clock or my 10 o'clock where I am? What are we talking about? So, the country is divided up, or the world is divided up into time zones. We've got a time zone. We've got an Eastern time zone. We've got a Central time zone. We've got Mountain time zone. And we've got Pacific time zone. And then Hawaii has got a time zone. So, if I say I'm going to pick up my passengers in Great Harbor in the Bahamas, and I'm due to be there at 1400 this afternoon, number one, what time is 1400? 2 o'clock. Why? The clock is divided into 24 sections. You've got 24 hours in a day. All right? We know that. You buy that? 24 hours in a day. Okay. We got 24 hours in a day. If we say 2 o'clock, which 2 o'clock? Does that mean 2 o'clock in the afternoon or 2 o'clock in the morning? So what most people say that are not involved in aviation or don't travel all over the world is 2 a.m. or 2 p.m. A.m. means after midnight. A.m. after midnight. P.m. means not after midnight, so it's got to be afternoon. That's the way I remember. So, 2 a.m. is 0200. 2 p.m. is 1400. You take the hour, and when it goes past 12, add to it. All right? If it's 2 p.m., that's past 12 o'clock. It's 2 hours past 12 o'clock. Noon. Buy that? Are you ignoring me? I can't stand being ignored. I cry. I go in the corner and I throw my hands up and come and cry.
Don't make it do that.
So, 2 o'clock in the afternoon is 2 hours past 12 o'clock. So we add 2 to 12 gives us what? 14. So 2 o'clock in the afternoon is 1400. So I'm going to be down there and pick my folks up at 1400. They say the first number is the time. And they say Zulu, and they give each of the time zones a letter name. Zulu time is the last one, and that is in England. That's in Greenwich, England. That's where the first meridian is. when they divide up the world in latitudes and longitudes. So, and it graduates 1 hour as we go west. When it gets to Pensacola, it's 6 hours difference on normal time. 5 hours difference on daylight savings time. You got any idea why that is? You gotta have some thoughts on that subject. What do you think? You ever thought about it? I don't blame you. I don't hear every guy with everybody either. It's wonderful. Okay. So this stuff gets confusing. It gets very confusing. So they say Zulu or universal time, whatever you're going to get, you got to figure what's local. So that means you got to, if they say 1500, you're going to have to subtract 5 hours from that. So that means 10 o'clock. Okay? So if something is valid at 1500, all right, 1701, information call at time, 1701. So what is 1701 Zulu in Pensacola? What is 1701 in Pensacola? 5 hours less than that, which is what? What's 5 hours less than 17? Well, yeah, 12 o'clock. So that gives you the time. Why do they make it so difficult? When they first started doing this stuff, this is the way all of this stuff is laid out. It was laid out like this. I can tell you, we don't do that anymore. That's not the way it works. What they do is when they print it out, they give you, it breaks all this down. You don't have to figure this, you don't have to figure Q and H, you don't have to figure all that other stuff. It makes it simple. And that's a good thing. Simple is good. The less you've got to remember, the more you can devote to solving your problem. My advice to you throughout your entire life, in everything you do, keep it as simple as you can. Simple is good. So, where are we going here? Clouds. We got a few clouds at 1,800 feet. Now, what does that mean? 1,800 feet. Does that mean 1,800 on the altimeter? No. No. That means 1,800 feet AGL, above the ground. So if I'm on the ground, Pensacola, and the ADA says 1,800 feet, how high is it on the altimeter? It's 103 feet less. Okay? Because the ground is closer to the limit of the altimeter by 103 feet. Does that make sense? This stuff gets more complicated as you go along. Now he can figure it out. He can probably do it in his sleep. But I got to work it. Okay. So, temperature, 30 degrees C. What is C? It's either Celsius or centigrade. Centigrade is 0 degrees centigrade is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. We deal in Fahrenheit. So if I want to know what the temperature is, I have to convert it. How do I convert it? There's a couple of ways to do it. You can do it on your computer, in your pocket. You can do it on your handheld, on your formula to go by it. I get it screwed up, but what you do is you take centigrade and double it. Okay? I take centigrade double is what? 60. Alright? I take that's 30 degrees difference, right? So, what is that? Is that 10%? I take 10% of that. No, I screwed it up. I forgot off the top of my head. I hadn't done it so long. And I used the cell phone to get that. And that gives me, but 30 degrees centigrade is somewhere around 86, 87 degrees Fahrenheit. Somewhere in it. That's hot. That's hot. And what did we learn the other day? About the hotter the temperature, the less performance you get out of the airplane. Remember that? Did we learn that? All right. And that's why, if we're going to take a look at that airport, does that airport look big to you? Is that a big airport? And you're going to get in a 747 and take off from that airport? And pay them $1,000? I'm going to think twice about that. Of course, I doubt seriously they have 747 going there. I don't know some of those European countries, you only know what they're going to do, but whatever. Guys, the weather dictates what happens to the performance of your airplane. It can either get off the ground or get on the ground properly, or it cannot. The weather dictates that. The primary thing that determines the weather anywhere is temperature. 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 The temperature is a big deal. Now, I don't know what your career plans are. I have no idea, but I'll tell you, some people really have become very happy and very successful using meteorology, weather, as a career. It's a good one. It's very interesting. It can keep your attention. It can really help everyone involved, and it's very important. But it's complicated. And it takes a lot of work and a lot of study. And that's one of the things in aviation. You can have a career doing just about anything in aviation. You can be in maintenance. You can be in dispatch. You can be in information technology, computers. You can be in meteorology, weather. You can be a pilot. You can be a flight attendant. You can be a gate agent. You can be a baggage handler. Just about anything you want to do, you can do it in aviation. And the money's good. And it's interesting work. And it's important work. You're doing something to help other people. But it takes a lot of work. You really got to study. You got to work and work hard. Okay, I'll tell you what, it's time for groceries.
Yes, sir.
Let's take a break, go outside, blow off some steam. You got something you want to say, come in here and say it. And we'll chat in a few minutes. Any questions?
Everybody set up for Jack Evans.
How about the 5:30, you gonna put the 5:30 up there in the corner?
Let me get my chair. Alright. Is that airport again? I need to write it down.
Is
Huh?
is the material you use like for this part right here and this part down here is like similar to what's in the reels?
Pretty much. I mean, planes, they use whatever type of material they want. Some people customize airplanes, you know? Yeah, it's pretty similar.
4, 5, 0, Sierra, Echo.
If you just click right there, can you drag it over there?
Yeah, I can drag it, but I'm trying to minimize, put make it smaller.
Oh.
Do that.
No, computers don't do that.
Alright, ma'am. This is what we're going to attempt to do.
This is the only computer I have problems with.
We're going to talk to the controller. He's going to tell us what to do. Right now, we are at... Vacation here now. I want to find out what ramp we're at.
Do I have to click
I'm going to go ahead and talk first to get it started. And you're going to actually follow the directions, okay? Gotta get rid of that. Ramp, okay. A2, okay. Oops. We are going to 35 over here. There's 35. That's where we're going. I think we're over here somewhere. Okay. So, let's find out. You type in 12125 for our ATIS. ATIS, the radio stack. The top.
on the end side?
12125, there you go. Click it over.
Weather is not currently available for Pensacola International. Arriving and departing runway 35.
Okay.
Weather
Click
is
it
not
back over.
currently available for Pensacola International.
That's our ATIS. That's the one that gives us information about the airport, what the weather is, and what runways are taking off and arriving on. So we got to go to runway 35. Okay. So that's, we're here. We got to go there. But first, we're sitting here, we got to get directions. So we got to talk to ground first. This is ground's frequency. You talk to ground first. Ground will tell you where to take you, how to go to the runway. Then we get almost the runway to switch to tower. There, she can go.
Oh, okay, you already.
Ground wants you to know. Click it over. It's already there. It was already there. Okay. Okay, so go ahead and hold the mic. First of all, make sure I got the right. Our handle here. We are Cessna November 172. Ground, Cessna November 172, radio check.
Cessna 172, you are loud and clear.
Ground Cessna November 172, request VFR flight, taxi to runway.
Cessna 172, taxi to runway 08.
Taxi to 08, Cessna November 172.
So, this way.
Yeah, I don't know why she said 08, we're supposed to go to 35. Well, we're gonna go to 08. So, you know what, she didn't even tell us how to get there. But you know what, we're gonna do what she told us. Okay? So, what we're gonna do, that. Make sure she ain't tripping. She said taxi to 0. She said 08, right? It's not even on there.
Like the scroll, cause like the scroll thing.
08. Okay. Let's go to 08. And she didn't tell us how to get there. They're supposed to tell you to taxi to 08 via taxiway A, Bravo, whatever. You know what I mean? Like on here, this chart. So, we're going to taxi to 08. I hate that woman, man. She always messes up. That guy doesn't. Yeah. Go ahead and just taxi. Make that bigger. There you go. Yeah. Go to Charlie 2, see Charlie 2, A5, I think 08 was up the top, right? We have to cross the runway. Yeah, go ahead. You're going to have to veer to the left. Taxi real slow. Let me get rid of this screen. This software is so bad. When the guy talks to you, everything's right. But when that woman talks to you, it gets all screwed up. I don't know why.
I go really slow because I'm not gonna get that taxi.
Hey, you and everybody else.
Cessna 172, contact tower on 119.9er.
And while you're doing that, switch to 119.9er. You got to multitask. Watch where you're going and multitask. All the way up to the yellow line.
Here you go.
All the way up. You should stop and say something, but because, like I said, we're supposed to take off at 3.5, but she put us on 8. You should, come on, stop, hold the short right there. Go ahead, push it. Tower says in November 172 is holding short, runway 8.
November 172, this is Tower, go ahead.
Hold it. Tower, November 172 is holding short, runway 8. This software is funny sometimes.
Yeah.
Here again. Tower says in November 172 is holding short, runway 8, ready for takeoff. Okay, go ahead, just take off. He should tell us we're clear for takeoff. And he'll give us a squawk code to put in there. Go ahead and take off. Okay, we're doing a VFR flight, meaning we're going to stay below 10,000 feet. And you know where we're heading? Okay, you can do that right now. Go ahead and take off. Take off, man. We can do that while we're in the air. We're going to have you multitasking today. We're going to KJKA. See? that shouldn't have happened. You know what I'm saying?
We got my part here.
It's not yours.
Okay.
It's the radio guy. I mean, this is simulated. You're gonna have issues with simulation. You know what I mean?
We ain't got to pay that.
In real life, yeah, I mean, catastrophe. Okay. While you're climbing up to 500, 600 feet, go ahead and hit your back button on your 750. Hit flight plan. Type in KPNS. Add weight. There you go. KPNS.
600 feet.
This.
Enter. Add waypoint. Add waypoint. KJKA.
91,000 feet.
There you go. Get your back button. There you go. And that's where we're going, so you got to turn around. Good job, man. Doing good. You got to have your multitasking in here. You know, hey, you get used to it. If you do this enough, it's like a piece of cake. So we get on that line. Okay, our CDS is in GPS mode. Okay, cool. Remember, we want to stay below 25. We want to stay right at 2,500.
No, it's not. It's turning. Oh, you got it on heading.
Okay, let's see here. Let's put this thing, it's in heading. Where's our, take our heading knob and turn it to, let's see, we want our heading button to be facing this line. So we want to be at approximately degrees wise. 238. Take that knob right, that one there. Start turning it. Is it moving? What we're gonna do, we're gonna get it over there, then put it in autopilot. Is it moving? You sure? Okay, the bug, okay. Now.
It's so it goes like that.
So look what this line is. Look at that line, that's what we wanted. Right about there, that's good. Okay. Put it in, you gotta be quick. Put it autopilot, then heading. Autopilot, heading. There you go. It's turning.
Back down to 2,500. Oh,
It's flying itself.
Okay, it's doing good.
You gotta sit there and hold the controls. The altitude is set at 4,000. Shouldn't be there.
Should be at like
2,500. We are at 3,000. So what you gotta do is turn that knob to altitude. And we want to go down, so we want to, there you go. And hit flight level change, FLC. Increase your power a little bit. It should go down on its own. It should. Oh, the vertical speed changed. Put it on VS, this knob right here. Negative. Negative. 6, 8, whatever. Decrease your power. It should go down. It should go down. Hit FLC again.
It is, you got five. Good.
Like I said, simulation is weird sometimes, man. It don't always work the way you want. We're going down, this is how slow we're going. We should be going down at 600 feet per minute. But we're not. So since we're not, this is what we're gonna do. Take it off autopilot and take it down yourself to 2500. So we don't get in trouble. No, you're gonna have to stay on course yourself.
What's that mean?
That's the autopilot. I don't know why it's beeping again, we're already out.
Warning. Maximum cruise speed reached.
We're cool.
Warning. Maximum cruise speed reached. Warning. Maximum cruise speed reached.
There's a tower where we're going now. It's only been there 3 months, so it's not going to show up on here. So we can't do ATIS or anything on that end there. We're just going to go there, land, and then come back. Working that trim, huh? Okay. So now you can actually increase your speed and just monitor your nose with your trim. You speed it all the way up.
You make it to where I have like a little bit more nose showing.
Say what?
You make it to where I have like a little bit more nose showing.
Okay.
Warning. Maximum cruise speed reached. Warning. Maximum cruise speed reached.
You want that?
Yeah, that's good.
Right there? Upset. Every time I get that Politics DC working, when I'm by myself, everything's fine. When I come in here, I'm sorry.
All right, let's go.
You got it to unlock, man? You got it to unfreeze?
Yeah.
What'd you do? Is it escape?
See the skate. Reloaded. How's he doing?
Oh, good, good. Politics DC gets on my nerves. I was here yesterday. I was parked at a parking there. The lady told me 3-5, gave me directions, got up there, got to the runway, told me to switch over. It was a guy. Then today the woman, like, shh. You know,
Yeah.
it's not working right at all.
Warning. Maximum cruise speed reached. 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 Warning. Maximum cruise speed reached.
You know that hotel by the airport?
Which airport?
The one with you told me.
Do I know the hotel?
It's like HYATT.
The Hyatt?
That's how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
I've never been able to learn how to pronounce it.
Yeah, man, that hotel's been around, well, the chain of them has been around for years.
My cousin's husband works there.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's an old one. I don't know. Might be older than me. I'm not even sure. Okay, we're 14 miles. And let's see. They got a runway straight in, but we're not going to go straight in. We're going to hit the other side. So why don't you tap on the airport and see all the runways. There. So you got that one straight in, and we got what? 9:17. Let's hit 35. Yeah. We're gonna have to come in from the, where we at, west, from the east, south, from the south, come in on 35. Make it more exciting than coming straight in. So how far away are we from the...
9.4.
Okay. We'll just scroll that out a little bit. See where we gotta go. There's your line right there. And where we at?
Right there.
Okay. Okay. Why don't you give me a heading 160, yeah. Heading indicator. That'll kind of get us out there. If you're coming into land, there's no tower there, but you talk to the tower. Tower says to November 172 request a full stop landing.
Doing good, guys. Keep it up. Keep it up.
And she tell you, okay, you come in heading blah blah blah. That 1200, that's the squawk code. They would have gave us that squawk code back at the airport where we took off from, and they would monitor us, our every movement.
You want me to turn to 160? Just kind of turn around.
Right there. Where's the airport? Okay. Like give me a heading yeah, 210. I was just getting you lined up, that's all. There you go. Just hold that. Because you're coming on that, what, runway 35, right? Yeah. I'm just giving you direction, that's all I'm doing, man. I mean, you can just turn whichever way, but you really need some direction when you're flying. So we got a good ways. Yeah, we still got a good ways. Let me do this. See, this software here, this is how the software works. You guys just flying around, but you would put in waypoint KPNS. And what's that airport where we're going to, Kayville?
KJK.
KJKA. Enter. And you go to, it can make a flight plan for you. This just made a flight plan for us right here. And let's see, it will show up over. I've done this in a while. Where's that box at? Come on, mouse. Okay, go ahead and give me a heading of 210 again. Worldly Awards. This right here, the software we use, put in KPNX on here, you put ORXE in there as well, the waypoints, and then KJA, and this software would actually talk to you, give you directions on what to do, but we're not using this software. So it's a little bit more involved.
Move right in, move the right foot.
Okay. How far are we from our destination?
8.7 miles.
Okay. I'll give you a heading 240.
Ever ride with Boston's Ocean?
Hey, part of it, man. Now scroll in, see how far we are from the runway. Scroll in.
I'm trying to get that to you. It's right there.
5, scroll out. Okay. You're right on the money. When we get up out to that line, then you're on your own. You can do it visually. You're far out enough so you can actually come in on your own. The approach. We don't want you coming in like a lot of you. You come in too close to the runway, you got to turn around. Now we're up far enough, so you got enough time to line it up. Cheap, a little bit darken it.
Good job, man. Good job.
Oh, your brother landed again.
Yes, sir.
Put it in there, right?
Yes, sir. Good job, man.
For him.
That's how you do it.
Okay. Yeah, when you land, I'm gonna get your little brother in there. You don't need to go back. Let's see if I can get pilot ATC to
That
work.
was the best one you had since you've been in this course.
I'll put him when he lands. I'll put him in there.
He made the perk by himself.
I saw you. I heard it. Put him in this one.
Okay.
You can work with him if you want.
It don't matter.
Okay. Getting there, huh, man? You're getting there, huh? Okay. Like I said, you're on your own from here. Keep that nose up. You don't want to lose too much altitude yet because you can't see the runway. If we had an ATC person, they would tell us which way to go to line up with the runway. They'd tell you heading so and so and so, turn left, heading blah blah blah. They would direct you to the runway. But you're visually flying right now. I think I see it. You think you see it? I think that's it right up there. That little white.
I see it, but how it's part of the
You're on the line. You got it lined up for you. How far are you from the runway? About 6 miles. You better start lowering that nose so you can see.
Well, I see it now.
Yeah, that white.
I was looking over there.
Oh man, way over there? You think? You lined it up for you. Which runway we coming in on again, 35? Is there only one runway or is it two?
Yes.
Huh? You sure? Scroll in on that thing. Get back.
I think he's on the left down here. Or, yeah, right down here.
Oh, that's 27. We'll come in on 27. Okay. Get some altitude. Scroll out. Scroll out so you can see where you're at. Okay, we'll come on 27. Start dropping some altitude, man. What 27 or 35?
7.
Yeah, 35. Yeah. That's right, so we changed runways. We're looking at the line. Okay, you're good. I know I wasn't losing my mind. I thought it was coming in on 35. We're going by that flight line, that flight path. Okay, cool. You're doing good, man. That's our maximum altitude, which we've already exceeded that, so we don't worry about that. Okay, pull back on your power now. You're coming in kind of fast. Remember, listen to the engine. What do you want the engine to say? There you go. We're fixing to end the flight. We don't want we want to come down. That's what Mr. Skip's talking about RPMs. We don't have an RPM gauge on here, but that's what you want to look at.
I was looking for it the other day.
Yeah, I didn't put one on here. I could take one of these off. Okay, get down lower, man. Line it up. Remember I said you want to line it up way back there where you didn't know exactly where the runway was? So you still got time. Get that nose, center that runway now. There you go. Bring it on down. We're close. You got to bring it down to we're a mile away. You're going to be there in no time. A mile goes fast. Doing good. There you go. Flaps, 1 degree. Trim it down. Let it fall down and trim it down. There you go. Relax with that stick. You can give her another notch of flaps. That's in 1. You got it full now. When you get full flaps, it's kind of squirrely. But hey, you're good. You just let you fly slower. That's flaps.
I got slower.
Full flaps, you can fly almost at 40 knots, man. With this thing. Good. Remember to pull up at the last minute. Right about now. Start pulling back. You stick. There you go. There you go. Pull back. There you go. Pull back a little bit. Pull back. Perfect. Pull back a little too much. Yeah, you bounced it. Pull off to the next intersection. Pull off for the next intersection. Pull off somewhere. Give it gas and pull off somewhere. To the left or the right. An opening. There's one right there to the left.
Can you tell like when I see
There you
it so
go.
dark?
Yeah. There's some planes over there. Easy, slow. We're taxiing into the airport. Pull over there where those jets are at. Stay off of the grass, man. Should have went to the next one. Get on the grass. Go that way. Go that way. In real life, the controller's gonna be yelling at you. What are you doing on the grass? Get off the grass, you stupid man! I'm being for real with you. That's what they be saying in real life, man. They don't play. Who is that man in that airplane? Okay. You can park anywhere over here. But this is all simulated. This, it's fine. Okay, go ahead and cut this thing off. Hit the two red buttons, pull them down. No,
Where?
right there. Those two, pull those down. Turn your switch all the way to the left.
This one?
Yeah. Okay, we're dead. Go ahead and turn your battery on. The first one. No, the red one. Now switch it to the red, all the way to the right. Switch. Now back one notch. Right there. Now turn the other red one. Push it up. That's your avionics. That's how you start up the plane. You turn on the battery first. Go ahead and cut it off again.
Everything?
Go first. Cut that off. There you go. You cut your battery. The first red one is your battery. You cut that off first. All the way. Then you got to turn it back one. There you go. Okay. Got it. Go ahead and take off, man. You should get right away. Go and take care of your garment. See, me and Bill, we get into Cessna, we don't typically fly this plane. We fly like the Baron, other planes. We fly a lot. This one is, not so much. Okay, now let's get back on runway, take off on runway 6. Give it gas, give it gas, give it gas, give it gas. Don't let it die on you. See where you at? Yeah, let's take off on this runway here. This taxi, follow it up.
This one?
6. That's where we're going. Hang a left, hang a left. Let's follow the gray. That's the taxiway.
I thought that was a 9.
Yeah, if you're coming in from that way, it's gonna be a 6. Remember, the planes are coming in this way. This way. They're gonna see it from that direction. Okay. Doing good, man. Slow it down a little bit. You already got one notch of flaps. You already got your flaps down. What did she say?
Approaching 9.
It was 9, okay. Go ahead and take off.
Where are we flying to?
We're going back where we come from.
Somewhere in here, I don't know what your plan is, somewhere in here.
It gets confusing on here because this thing turns, you know what I mean? But the best way to find out, and you're gonna multitask. Use one hand, hit the back button, go to flight plan, add the airport we just took off from. And click on it. We're going to put KPNS in there, go ahead. Watch where you're going. You can do two things at one time. Enter. Okay, click on KJKA. Click on waypoint information. It may not happen. Click on view charts. That one doesn't have it. Okay, back up. Let's get out. All right.
600 feet.
Oops, my bus. Kind of tight here. Just get the altitude. Get your altitude. I'm doing something over here. This is a tool you can use. Air. NAV. What was that airport ID? K who?
KJKA.
JK. Okay. Here's all the. They got runway 9, 27, 17, and 35. And yeah, it's a 9. That's how you find out all the runways and stuff. It gives you the information about the airport, the operational part, the communication part. There's no tower there. So if you're leaving out of there, what you're supposed to do is put a CTAF or Unicom. That's a frequency that you use at non-towered airports. Other radios can hear you. So when you take off, you use those. Okay.
I thought this thing right here used to like move.
Which one?
Yeah.
It does. It's like a rudder almost. The yaw. Lift your flaps, man.
Up or down?
What do you tell me? You want to fly with flaps? Okay. So what do you think? Look at your wing. Look at your flaps. Look at your wing.
That's the problem.
Uh-huh. There you go. Relax.
Okay. Turn right to 270, level off at 1100 feet.
We got an altitude of 2,500. Let's see if we can fly GPS. Remember how to do it?
Like autopilot.
Heading bug. See where the heading bug is? Put it on GP. Heading down here, the knob. Turn that heading bug.
Roll out, left foot, left foot. There you go. Alright, fine. Maintain 1100 feet. Okay, right turn. 350.
That's all right. We're getting around there. What you playing? What you playing on course? Kinda. Okay. Now we want to watch. Turn this dial to vertical speed.
DS.
Put it on 0. Put it on 0. There you go. 2,500 and altitude. Go ahead and hit AP. Then it's already in heading mode. Hit AP. See what happens. Here they go. It's gonna go down. Probably gonna go down fast. Okay, cool. So it's gonna stay on heading. It's going down to 2,500. Cool. Now, are we on course? Where's our heading? We're off course a little bit. Take the dial. You gotta turn heading. You gotta turn the heading.
Turn it back to 0.
Okay. Heading. There you go. There you go. Now we got the right heading. You don't have to sit there and hold that yoke. That's how Mr. Skip flies.
Like in real life.
Oh yeah. Autopilot and heading. He don't sit there holding that yoke. The only time he holds that yoke is when he's fixing to land.
Is that why people always say planes basically fly themselves?
Yeah, they do fly themselves. Nobody will sit there holding no yoke for no 2 hours, 3 hours. Shoot. Back in the day, you had to, you know, but now, with all this computer stuff, yeah, it's like we got it now. So what you do is you monitor your instruments. That's what they're doing. They're looking at the airspeed, make sure the airspeed is staying the same, make sure the altitude, the attitude indicator is on that white line, watching the altitude. They know which direction they're going. Vertical speed's all right. The main thing they probably watch is their RPMs on their engine. I don't have that. I didn't put one in here, but they watch that to make sure their engine's not running too hard or not enough. That's basically it, man. Everything else is navigation and navigates itself, but you got to know how to navigate still. You got to know how to put the information in. So we got altitude switch, vertical switch. IAS is the engine speed. I don't know what that stands for, but that's the engine. Put it on IAS. Instrument airspeed, that's what it is. That's what it is. And you can raise that higher so the engine will go faster, but we're cool right now. The next lever is heading. And then the CRS, we're on CRS. That one there on the Cessna I'm not too familiar with. I think that works with the heading, but I'm not really sure. Like I said, all airplanes have different features. I'm not familiar with that one.
What is auto? Auto.
That, the auto throttle that controls, put it back on IAS. Don't flip it. When you flip that to the right, it holds it at that airspeed. But we don't want that airspeed. We want to manually. Okay. So how far are we from KPNS? See, autopilot makes you lazy and sleepy.
16 foot.
Okay.
You didn't think we could do that, did you? I didn't do it.
Click on that U card, UCKR to the south there on the screen. Just click on that.
Where?
To the right on the screen, up top where the water, in the water, U card. UCKOR.
I just like this.
Right there you go. Yeah, there it is. Just click on it. Okay. I just wanted to scroll it in. It's part of an airway. That's what it is. It's part of an airway. Okay. It's part of an airway. When you make a flight plan, you got VORs, airways, intersection. Just like, you know, when you drive on a freeway, you take 10, then you got exits and different signs or whatever. That's all this stuff is in the air. You use this stuff to get to your destination. When you make a flight plan, you use those. I can make a flight plan going from KPNS to Tallahassee. I'll find one airway, connect that airway to the next airway, to the next airway, it'll be a line, and you follow it. Just like this one here. This is called flying direct. We're flying direct from where we just left to KPNS, one straight line. But if we're flying to here to Tallahassee, we'd use other airways and signs to get there. You'd have to, because you know there's some airports you can't fly over, right? So you have to use signs to fly, or fly around it, fly to this sign, fly to that sign, fly to that sign to fly around it. That's when you make a flight plan. Okay. Which runway you want to land on? I'll let you pick. Man, it's 2:30 already. Wow.
I'm with myself bad.
I'm telling you, especially after you eat.
I'm gonna land on 8.
Huh?
I'm gonna land on 8. I'm with 8.
Okay. Yeah, you eat, you want to just take a nap and go to sleep. What was 8 straight in? Yeah. They were holding at 2,500. Cool.
It's
Airplane.
like it just freezes.
Yeah, airplane does its own, flies its own. We have it on autopilot, so. We're 2 miles. Oh, we're 2. Oh, that's from there. You
Yeah.
touched over there.
I had touched to get back to the
Okay. We're about 10 miles or something.
6
6 miles. Okay. We're going straight in, so. I'm gonna darken this just a tad. I'd like to help you guys out.
You know how, so do they have radio? Oh, there's the airport. And
Take it off autopilot. There you go. The
But-
trim button. There you go.
and
Start slowing up, man.
what is happening? Wow. But
Put your power down, that's why. There you
in planes, do they have like radios that play songs and stuff like cars?
go. Oh, you just want to jam in the airplane?
I get bored.
Yeah, of course. Man, you do whatever you want to do in that airplane, man. As long as it's legal. Yeah, they got music. They got CD players and MP3s or whatever. You know, you bring whatever you want on there. Speakers, put speakers in there. But it's not advisable because you got to talk to a controller. Now, if you're on a long distance flight, you're 10,000 feet up or whatever. You're doing a long one. Yeah, you got some music, but I wouldn't have it too loud because you got to hear that controller in case something happens. Okay, man, come on, slow down, slow down. You're coming in to land, remember? Remember what you want that air, airspeed's kind of high.
Warning. Speed for access to speed reached. Warning.
It's actually 100 knots.
Speed for flaps too high.
Good.
Warning. Speed for flaps too high. Warning.
Where's everybody at, Bill? Where's everybody at? Outside?
Here.
Oh.
Warning. Speed for flaps too high. Warning. Speed for flaps too
Had a
high.
very interesting
Warning.
landing situation.
Oh, okay. It was so quiet.
US Airways 727 pulled out on the runway on the cloud.
You had the same situation here
Yeah.
on a takeoff. Come on, man, get it down, man. Pull back on that power. Keep it lined up. Remember the nose up, nose up, nose up. There you go.
That was good. That's a good change.
Wasn't it? Nose up, no
Good.
little. Hold it. Not too much. You know, you're going to fall there. You're doing good.
We're going to drop in on the mains.
Uh-huh. That was a little hard, but hey, a lot better than that last one. Yeah, you didn't bust the nose gear. Cool. All right.
Talk to the flight attendant.
Talk to the flight attendant, huh?
Yeah,
there
he's
you
gonna
go.
say, what are you trying to do up there? Kill me?
All right, man. Good job, man. Let your brother get in here.
I heard the flight attendants get real mad.
Yeah. Shake him up in there, yeah. All right, man. Get in there. Okay.
She's stuck.
You need to move forward?
Yeah.
Okay. I ain't gonna do no ATC with you. I'm just gonna get you up in the air, and we're gonna go. We're taking off from KPNS,
Try landing.
and we're going back to KJKA, that pink line. Okay, you ready? Push your throttle all the way up. Steal your feet. There you go. Doing good, doing good. Your brother's already got the flaps down, so we don't need to lower our flaps. Get to 60 knots, pull back just a little bit. Okay. Looking good.
Fly another.
Let's go ahead and we're gonna raise our flaps, put that up. I'm gonna trim it out for you just a little bit. Okay.
Well, absolutely.
This is where we want to turn the airplane around and follow that pink line, okay?
I have a question.
What's that?
So why is this one tilt to the left when you're climbing?
This one's a little bit more sensitive than the one in there. Yeah. You just got to turn real easy, that's all. But you're doing good.
He has been doing really good on landings.
Has he?
Lining up and landing.
Do you want me to, I was taking him to KJA, you want me just to?
No, whatever you want to do.
Okay. Look at that airport over there. Look to the left. Look at that airport. Wow, that's cool, isn't it?
Actually, that's really good.
Okay.
It's really upside because you can't see.
Yeah. That's what real pilots do. They use that instrument right there. It's called a G750. They use that. Their instruments. When you can't see, that's what these are for. That orange one. When you get to the altitude you want to get at, you keep that orange line on that white line. That means right about there. That means you're level. That means you're level right there. Okay. Okay. I tell you what we're going to do, 244, we're going to go halfway and then turn back around because it's going to take us forever to get to our destination. Our destination is right there, and it's 27 miles. We're never going to make it because of our time. So what we're going to do, keep it straight. Keep it straight. There you go. Stay on that line. We're going to go out about a couple of miles and we're going to turn around. Okay? Doing good, man.
See, I'm just on another thing I'm looking at.
There you go. Hey, that's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. Like I said, if you keep that line on that white line, look at your airspeed, your altitude. Your altitude is here. It's also right there. These two are the same. That's 2,700. That's 27 and climbing. 28. 28. This one is easy. A lot of people get confused with that one. If you can't understand that one, then you got it there. But that's easy. I mean, Now we're at 3,000. We're going to be at 3,100 pretty soon. Okay. Let's turn back around. Go to your left. Right there. That's good. Hold that. Hold that. We're going to go back to the airport. Not too steep. Not too steep. Remember your mother's in the right seat, okay? You don't want her throwing up on us. Okay, back straighten up. We're going to land on, let's see. We're going to land on runway 35. That's what we're doing.
3 miles, turn around, come back to the runway.
There's the airport right there to your left. And that must be runway 35 right there. You look at that airport, look at this diagram right here. Mm-hmm. This instrument right here, this is simulated. This is what real pilots use. This instrument right here is called the G750. They actually use this. This is the G1000. The G1000. There's another screen that goes with this, but I didn't really need it. This is the main one. Real pilots use those.
Line up in the road.
Okay. Keep going straight. Keep going straight because you gotta pass that runway. Start going to your right a little bit. So what we want to do, we want to go to the right, go down, and then we're gonna drop it. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Right about there. Perfect. Go out some more. We're gonna go out about another few miles. You have 5,000 feet, so we got to drop some altitude, a lot of altitude. So go ahead and pull your power back. Pull your power down a little bit. Black one, not all the way. Some more. Right there. That's the sound you want to hear when you're landing. Because you don't want to go fast no more. We want to come down, right? Cool. So now you can start your turn. There you go. Easy. Take your time. You take your time. You got a lot of time. Push your nose down. Easy. There you go. Right about there. Hold that. Level off. There you go. Let it come on down. Do you think we can make? This is where we're at. 3.5. We ain't gonna make that. Start your left turn. We can hit the other runway. This one over here. Hold on, level up, level up.
26.
Yeah, that one out there. Perfect. Yeah. It was kind of high. You got up to 5,000 feet. I'm trying to bleed that altitude off. You're going to get 26. You got to lose some altitude though. Pull that down. Put your nose down. There you go. There you go. There you go.
Warning. Maximum cruise speed reached.
You're doing good. There it is over there. We need to be about 2,000. We need to come in at least 2,000.
Better off. Not your flaps.
Warning. Maximum cruise speed reached.
Yeah, she's lying. Maximum cruise speed is 150, 160 feet.
Maximum cruise speed reached.
Okay, you can start leveling off now. Cool.
Maximum cruise speed reached.
Keep going straight. Okay, give a little bit of gas. A little bit.
Okay.
There you go, right there. You see where the runway is? Okay, we still got time. We still got to go straight. Then we get it right about lined up. We want to start our turn.
A little bit of left foot, not much.
Darken it a little bit for you so you can see the lights on the runway. She's got a line for you right there. Maintain that altitude. That's a good altitude, 1,400, between 1,200 and 1,400, you're doing good.
All right, take off again.
Give just a little bit of gas.
That's up.
A little bit of gas, just a little bit. You want to maintain between here and here, so you can. There you go. You see the runway over there to your left? Okay. There you go. You're on your own right now. I'll let you fly it in. I'll let you know it's going. See the runway? Doing good.
1,100 feet. Maintain that.
Maintain 1,000 feet, man. Maintain 1,000. You don't want to go any lower than 1,000. You still got a good ways off. Don't go lower than 1,000 feet. Give it some more gas. There you go. Don't listen to her. There you go. Straight on in. You can't. It's smooth sailing from here on out. Okay, we're at 120 knots. Now we want to start slowing up a little bit. Get it dead center. Pull your power down a little bit. This is flaps one notch. Okay. Let it fall down. There you go. Doing good, man. Get it center. Get it center, though. There you go. Get it center of the runway. Get it center of the runway. Don't listen to her. That's nothing. Man, you got to listen to a controller. Yeah, you have somebody talking to you on the radio. This is nothing. See, she ain't hollering at you in real life. That controller, if you mess up, that controller gonna be giving you hell.
All right, let's do a 180 degree turn to the left.
Get it center, man. Get it center.
It's a good bang right there. It's a good turn. Take it. There you go.
You come in at an angle a little bit, you can make it.
It comes perfect. Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. Perfection.
Not yet, not yet, not yet. Give some more gas. More gas, more gas. Give it gas, give it gas. You're too short. Pull up a little bit. Pull back, pull back. There you go.
No, not that one.
Now. See, we wouldn't have made it, man. You pull back too soon. The problem. Pull back a little bit. Pull back, pull back. Pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back. Okay. Take off. So you pull the engine, you pull the power down too quick, and we were short. Okay. Pull your flaps up. Go land again. You had it lined up perfect. And this, you ain't been back in a while, so hey, you're doing good, man. Because out there, that was different from this one.
All right.
You did good out there. Now you got to start spending time in here. You're doing good. Real good. Just that landing, that was all. You made it. You just got a little off center. And you pull your power back too quick. So let's see. We're going to go to runway 35.
Right rudder. All the right rudder. Hold up.
Yeah, we'll get 35. Just want to veer out to the left a little bit.
All the right rudder.
Just get that plane parallel to that runway. Go out and turn back around. Right there. Straighten up. Straighten up. There you go. Straighten up. Straighten up. Straighten up. Okay, we're going to go out about a... Yeah. See, we're 1 point. How far are we from that airport? We're 1.7 nautical miles. We're only get to about maybe 2.7 nautical miles away. So we're going farther away, and the number should be getting bigger. It should be 1.8, 1.9. There you go. Get to 2.8 maybe, somewhere around there. That's the runway right there to your left. You can see it right here too. That should be 3.5. See, you can understand it more in here because you got 3 screens. You know? there you got to toggle and do all this stuff. It's crazy. That's why I built this, to make it a lot easier. I don't like those flat screens. I don't like them. You like it? Good, good. Keep going forward. About 2.7 or 8. You should be have enough time to turn around. And 6, 7, about 2.8. Yeah. Now you can turn it around. 2.8 miles out. Pull back on your power. Pull your power down because we're not far from the runway. There you go. Probably want to start getting that nose down. Because we're at 2,500 feet. Yeah, you want to get that nose down. Pull back on your power some more. Get that nose down. Get that nose down. You see, down, 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 down. You see where we're at? You see where we got to go, right? That's our runway straight ahead. Get the nose down. Pull your power down. Pull your power down. Bingo. Give me one notch of flaps. Push it, pull it down. Pull your power down some more. Perfect. Let it fall down. We gotta get our nose down. That's where we gotta go. We gotta go down. Down some more. Let's trim it down. Like that. Hit that button. Line it up, baby. Line it up. Go to your left. Go to your left. Get power down. Go to your left. Keep going to your left. We're gonna line it up. Get over there. Get over there. Come down. Push it forward. Push it down. There you go. Push it down. We gotta get out. We're at 1,000. Okay. We're gonna come in kind of fast. We can make it. Perfect, man. You come in like that if you want. At a non-towered airport. Get ready to pull up. You don't want to nose it in, pull back. You stay, pull back, pull back, pull back. Okay, you bounced it. Take off again. You're doing good. It's on your landings. You gotta, when I say pull back, pull your stick back. So you don't come in like this. You want to come in like that or like that. You don't want to bounce that nose wheel. Okay, where are we at now? Keep going straight ahead. Okay, where we at? Let's land on runway 26. Easy, relax. Start turning to your right. Easy turns. Easy turns, easy turns, easy turns, relax. Relax. Good. Hold up. I gotta get him on this. We're going on 2-6. Doing good. Maintain that altitude right there. .2 miles out. Let's go a little farther out this time. Level off. Keep going straight. Level off. Go to your left. Go to your left. Level off. Yeah. More enough time so we can make that approach.
You were up on here.
See where we're at right here? That's the airport right there. That's where you gotta land. Pull back on your power. Put your power down. Don't do more. We don't listen for that sound. We don't want to go up anymore. We're going to come down. I'm going to give you 1 notch of flaps, okay? That's where we're going. Right there. Pretend your mother's in the right seat. We don't want her to throw up. Now he's telling me. Doing good, man. Level out, level out, level out. He's so short, he can't see the runway, you know. He has to look at this instrument here. But he's doing good. Okay, what's your altitude? 2,000? Okay, we're doing good. See the runway? Right there, man. Remember I said go forward more. You want to line it up back here. We don't want to get to the runway lined up. Keep going straight. Keep going straight. Keep going straight. You're doing good. Right there. Get the nose down. Get the nose down. There you go. There you go. Keep going straight. Keep going straight. When you get parallel, then we want to turn in. Draw final. There you go. Perfect. Perfect. Perfect, man. Perfect. Man, it don't get no better than that. Don't listen to her. Straight on in. We're at 700. Straight on in. You should make that without no more power. Perfect. No. You're perfect. You're perfect. You should be able to fly that on in. You should be able to. You might have to give it a notch. Give it a notch of power, just a notch. That's good, right there. Okay, we're at 300. You might have to get a little bit more power. You're coming in kind of fast. There you go. You should make that. Pull back on your yoke a little bit. Just pull back a little bit. Pull back on your yoke a little bit. Pull back. Pull back a little bit. There you go, right there. Now get back on the runway. Okay. Now you can pull. Go ahead. Remember, pull back on your stick a little bit. Remember I said pull back on your stick a little bit. Right there. Hold that. Pull. There you go. Let it come down. Let it come down. Let it come. There you go. Pull back your stick. There you go. Hold that. Hold that. Hold that. Hold that. Man, you did it. Man, see, that's how you do it. The last one you did, remember you came in on the nose? That's how you do it. Do it like that all the time. Perfect. Woo!